Hello and welcome back to Walk the Cinema podcast. Today we are going to just be giving our reaction to the Oscars. They literally just ended as soon as we recorded this. So we're just going to give you our unfiltered thoughts and opinions. And
unedited.
Yeah, unedited. So if there's any awkward pauses, that's on us.
If we bump the table, if we hear the cat, just go with it. We got to put it out as soon as the Oscars end, so it's ready for everyone. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it was boring, wasn't it?
It was a little boring, and I feel kind of bad for saying that because I think one of the things is that they try to make it entertaining as possible without like having to make it endless. But I just feel like every time that they change some stuff up, it just gets more and more contrived.
You could tell that the jokes were trying to be safer.
Yeah, safer, but also a little bit like, I mean, they poked fun at the Will Smith incident without saying his name.
Right, they didn't want to bring that up. That would be cheap. People were already saying last year, oh, they're going to come out with a helmet or with boxing gloves, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not funny. I mean, I guess it could be funny, but it'd be so predictable. And, like, it's just not funny.
Yeah.
And they did their best, I guess. It's as fun as an award show could be.
Yeah. And I think that at least for the most part, except for that one guy that did not get to say his piece, they did give their winners time to fully express themselves, which was nice.
Yeah, and I like the winners for the most part, too. I was happy that Austin Butler didn't get his little award.
Best actor. I'm kind of surprised that it did end up going to Brendan Fraser. Mm-hmm. Not surprised in that I think that he did a bad job or, you know, whatever. I just didn't think that the Academy was going to let him have it. I for sure thought it was going to go to like Colin Farrell or even Bill Nighy over
I just
Brandon.
Don't think enough people would have cared about the story behind it and they would have voted more for the performances or whatever. Mm-hmm. Which that's not saying Brendan Fraser wasn't really good because he really was. Mm-hmm. And to me, between him and Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, it's a really big win for the internet, for the memes. Reddit's gonna love it.
Yeah, for sure.
If we get Keanu Reeves next year, the internet might die.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that one of the bigger, I guess, upsets, and it's not even really an upset because I see people still being supportive, just like confused, is Jamie Lee Curtis winning supporting actress instead of Angela Bassett or Stephanie Hsu. So I just saw a lot of people, you know, saying like, oh, good for Jamie, but like I'm still confused because I feel like those two other people were better, you know?
I mean, even in the same movie, so it creates a direct comparison where Stephanie Hsu is just clearly better.
Yeah, but and she's more integral to the story.
It's an award show. There's friends voting for each other. She's never been nominated before, which I didn't know. So when I heard that this was her first time, it kind of clicked in my head, like, oh, she might win. I didn't give her a chance.
Yeah, because I think that, you know, both, like she said, both her parents were Oscar-nominated individuals.
It's like a lifetime award of sorts, right?
Yeah, it's like a legacy award.
And unless there's like an absolute standout, a lot of the times the winner is just a legacy vote.
Yeah, or like one that's been, you know, a presence in Hollywood for a long time.
Yeah, your name carries weight. Your reputation carries weight. And her reputation has been soaring in the last couple of years, I would think.
Yeah.
Just
I'd
for
agree.
her production.
And I think that she had like public likability because she's just been such a supporter of all her castmates.
Yeah,
and, you know,
that's true.
Just literally everybody that's been nominated.
She's been like a straight up cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like just yelling and celebrating it. And it was no different tonight. I suspected and I predicted that Everything Everywhere All at Once would win the Big Four. Mm-hmm. I was told I was wrong. I was right. Anyway, it felt like it wasn't even hard either. No, which is crazy because there's so many...
The longer it went on, the longer I was like, yeah, there's really no other way.
Yeah, but there were so many close categories. Like Best Actress was really close.
It was close. It was close.
Screenplay.
I'm surprised with screenplay a little bit. not crazy surprised, but like a little surprised.
Well, I think it is the most original screenplay. And I saw someone say this, one of those anonymous voters or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or I don't remember who it was, but it was someone saying the title of the award is original screenplay and Everything Everywhere is the most original. But that's not what that means.
Yeah.
It is the most original idea because it's so out there in comparison, but it's not the best written or best put together screenplay, which I haven't read it, so I don't know if it's the best written, but from what I get out of the movie, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the best composed screenplay. It's a little chaotic, and that's the point, right? There's too many ideas, and the Daniels put them all together and made a movie that won Best Picture, and besides that, it won 6 more awards.
Yeah.
I couldn't even think of the ones it didn't win, besides, I guess it didn't win costume, score, one of the
actresses, because only one of them can win, and then song.
Oh yeah, song. Oh, I was happy Natu won song.
Yeah. That was going to be one of the things that I was happy about, because I knew that like in my prediction I said that Hold My Hand was going to win, which like Lady Gaga's little
so cringy. I'm
stripped down performance. I immediately was like, this is her trying her hardest to like still get the nom for whenever Joker 2 comes out and she's Harley Quinn.
No makeup, black t-shirt.
She's like, this
gave
is a really
speech before the song.
Really personal song. Really intimate personal song for Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, really intimate song about holding hands. It was just fast airplane movie that made $1 billion.
It's just funny, and I'm really glad that Natu won, because I think that that's such a.
It was a fun performance.
Yeah, it was a super fun performance.
But also, I really like Rihanna. I thought Rihanna really went off. So
yeah, I did like her performance too, and I liked the song.
Yeah, the first song they performed
with Sophia Carson
was incredibly forgettable.
Yeah,
and I think pandering
a little. I don't know. That one was weird. Some other things that, I didn't get the animated shorts or either short, to be honest, and I don't think I got documentary.
I was sad about the animated short in particular. I really wanted Ice Merchants. I was shocked at live action short, because I think it made sense for the movie to win. The director of Appiah's Lazaro, I think, and Le Pupille made sense to win. It had Alfonso Cuarón, and it didn't win.
Yeah,
Irish Goodbye did, which I didn't watch. It's not about it being good or not. I didn't watch it.
It was just like the hype stuff.
Historically, right? Like we had 2 different strangers or whatever winning a couple years ago because of the name value of it, even though it was incredibly shit.
That's fair. I don't know.
Even if this was bad, I would have assumed it would have won, but I guess not, which is a good thing. At the end of the day, I think it's a good thing if they're voting for what they truly like.
Yeah. I also thought we both said that we thought All Quiet was winning a lot of stuff, which we were kind of like, maybe they'll win Best Picture, but this was before they announced the adapted screenplay, and since it didn't win adapted screenplay, that kind of like killed it for me.
It was the only chance they had, right? Because it didn't have acting or director.
Yeah, so that's what killed it for me. So and I think that at least Women Talking winning was like a good choice,
No, I thought it was nice.
Yeah,
the Women Talking also has the story behind it.
Yeah,
about like everything that had to happen for the screenplay to get made, which I feel like every screenplay does.
Yeah.
There's so many stories about how hard the screenplay was to get made, how it took 10 years, or how I had to wait for the perfect actress. So
movie making can be very difficult, and I don't know. It's just kind of
I'm fine with Women Talking. It's a movie with a lot of talking, long screenplay. Something like Banshees of Inisherin, different category, but that screenplay is like 90 pages.
Yeah.
It's not particularly long.
Yeah.
You can read it online, by the way, a lot of these screenplays, if you didn't know.
I don't think that the Banshees won anything tonight. Like, at all. Which is kind of crazy to me, because it
had a lot of nominations.
It had a lot of nominations, and I thought it was a really decent film.
But as I said when I reviewed it, and as I said when we did the predictions, I think, honestly, this type of movie is cursed to be forgotten.
Yeah.
And even if it got 11 nominations, it was just going to be forgotten about.
That's true.
Which is fine. I really love the movie, but I also... This doesn't matter, because this is not an objective award, right? The Academy Awards, as much as they say it's about the best picture of the year, it's not. It's about the best story of the year. And I think the best story of the year was Everything Everywhere, about how tight-knit the cast is.
And how a lot of them, like, you know...
Yeah, about how the Daniels had to struggle to make it, and, like, it's so chaotic, so many ideas, they had to figure it out.
How the actors, you know, like, some of them thought that they weren't, you know, going to be welcomed in Hollywood anymore.
Which is the same way Brendan Fraser won, I think. Also, Brendan Fraser was really good. Again, I really like him.
Yeah. And I liked how he hugged his sons and his wife, you know, before going up.
I liked the speech, even though, like, it was very clearly he had it ready.
A little. There were some parts where he did, and other parts where I was like, he's going off his little script.
Yeah. It was a nice... I don't think there was any bad...
choices.
No, acceptance speeches, I mean. I don't think there's any bad acceptance speeches. Sometimes there is.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
It was Renee Zellweger that went after Joaquin Phoenix, and she was like, oh, I gotta do something now. Because he talked about, I don't know, environmental
stuff. I don't remember.
And she tried to improvise something, and it came out awful. This year was fine. All the presenters were fine.
Yeah, nothing egregious happened. It was just kind of boring and long. And that was my other critique about it, is like, we spend 15 whole minutes of Jimmy Kimmel just kind of introducing everything and making his little jokes and stuff. And I feel like that's so unnecessary and like...
Yeah, but it's to be expected. And
I mean, yeah, but like if you're talking about like cutting down on the time, like...
Right. Which he's said multiple times.
Yeah, and it's like you could do 5 minutes of that and you'd still get the point across. It'd still be somewhat entertaining, because after a while you're just kind of like, I didn't come here to watch a Jimmy Kimmel stand-up show.
Right.
You know?
And that's another problem with me, right? I see Jimmy Kimmel as the host. I know a lot of people like him. I'm not big on like talk show hosts.
Yeah.
In general, I feel like they come off as very fake. And I still think Jimmy Kimmel comes off as fake as a host for his show. But it was fine today. I actually didn't mind him at all.
No, I think that's my thing. I think he kept it, you know, succinct and
I think they all kept
not
it
crazy,
safe.
but you know, it's still like you could have cut it shorter.
But
Because,
I think the safeness of it produced a show that didn't have a lot of awkward moments. It didn't have anything that stood out though, and that's just boring.
Yeah.
Like, sure, everyone did fine, but that's not entertaining.
Yeah. I will say that the one awkward moment that I felt was awkward and cringy and like, oh my God, was the little joke bit thing when they asked Malala if Chris Pine spit on Harry Styles.
Yeah, that was weird.
And her answer was just, I only talk about peace. And I'm like, why? In my head, I was like, why would you ask
It was weird that they picked her. Like, there's so many heavy hitters of Hollywood there, and you pick Malala, someone that's, you know, an activist and not... I don't know, that was weird. And then he went to Jessica Chastain and did the Matt Damon jokes.
The Matt Damon joke was, I feel fine. It's like on par with like
They fell flat though.
A little, but
no
like,
one cared.
Yeah, no one cared, but at least I feel like that was a little bit more, or a little less like, you know. And then they asked Colin Farrell about something. I don't even.
Colin Farrell was great.
Yeah.
Even his like little performance answering the question was really good.
Yeah, I really liked Colin Farrell, and if you know, it's kind of one of those things where like if the acting category wasn't, you know, locked or you know, it wasn't so strong, I feel like he could have won.
Yeah, but it wasn't strong. It was strong at the top, right? Where you had Brendan Fraser and you had Colin Farrell.
That's what I'm saying.
But like Austin Butler was not that good, and I'm glad he didn't win because I feel like it would be one of those historical ones we look back and we're like, really?
Yeah. I suppose.
He also didn't look too happy that it didn't win, which I thought was funny.
I don't know. We watched a little bit of the pre-show and they interviewed him and I thought that was awkward, but I just kind of, those pre-Oscar red carpet interviews always make me kind of cringe.
But I feel like he tries so hard to be cool and come off as cool that it's transparent.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I don't care.
it's kind of whatever.
It's also like his ex-girlfriend is the one making most of the interviews, but not him.
Yeah.
Not him. They're not going to do that.
That was so funny. But, just to kind of go over some stuff, best visual effects went to Avatar. Not very surprising. I didn't pick it, but... I did,
because I'm smarter than you.
Right. I just went with Top Gun. It was like, maybe they'll just, like, give it all to Top Gun. Best film editing went to Everything Everywhere. I think I picked Top Gun, but we kind of talked about...
I picked Top Gun, too, but I think Everything Everywhere deserves it. If anything that I'm happy it won, it's this. If it deserved any award, it was this one.
Yeah, because we talked
about
how
obviously the best edited movie.
It was the best edited, and it's one of the only ones that actually has any like the story kind of.
It needs the editing. And it fits into and the editing elevates the storytelling. Yeah, exactly. It elevates the movie experience, which. Sure, it does with every movie, right? If you have bad editing, it's going to downgrade a movie immediately. Mm-hmm. But with Top Gun, I don't think people are there to be like, this is really good editing. It's just really obvious editing.
Yeah. Then we had costume design, which went to Black Panther.
That was surprising.
It was surprising to me.
It just doesn't go that way.
Yeah, it's usually like something that's historic or, whatever. So I fully thought that Elvis was going to get this, and then kind of after it didn't. I thought maybe... I don't remember if it was this one or makeup and hairstyling that went first, but it also didn't win for makeup and hairstyling. That
one's surprising.
That went to The Whale, which was also very surprising to me.
Because it's digital, too, which is, like, new. Mm-hmm. It just never happened before where a digital makeup movie is done this well in, like, overall, like, getting nominated for various awards, but actually winning an Oscar is very surprising. Shuri was good, but I also didn't expect it. I did expect Elvis. Because people seem to be convinced that Austin Butler was Elvis.
Yeah.
They made that joke multiple times.
Exactly. Whatever. That's kind of why I gave both of those categories. But I was kind of like, I didn't like Elvis. So, I mean, not that I don't think that the people working on it don't deserve recognition or whatever, but I just, was kind of, it felt like confirming that it wasn't that good of a movie to me. I don't know. But then All Quiet on the Western Front won production design, cinematography, original score, just to name a few right now.
It won a lot and it deserved them all.
Yeah.
It could even deserve screenplay. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Me right now? No, I'm kidding. I like it better. I like that screenplay better than Women Talking, but I like Women Talking better as a movie.
Yeah. I felt really strongly about it winning original score because I felt like out of all of them, it elevated the story the most and it like stuck in my head the most.
And they kept playing it every time it won. I was like, damn, that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good on its own. It's good without being like
I could like listen to some
but also it really elevates the stakes of the movie. It makes you feel tense. So it works at every level of it being music.
Yeah. So I was actually really happy that it won in that category.
Documentary short I was very happy about. Little Ragu and the Elephant Whisperers.
Yeah, it was good.
I like that one a lot.
I'm glad that Stranger at the Gate didn't win because I just kind of thought that maybe
it would have been an awkward discussion if it won. Let's just say that.
That's true. But for best sound, we had Top Gun, which I think I said that.
Yeah, it was loud.
Yeah, it was loud. An Irish Goodbye. We talked about that one.
Yeah. Documentary film into Navalny.
Yeah.
Which. I know it's on HBO, but I just didn't. It just looked like one of those boring documentaries. Mm-hmm. Is that what people say?
Maybe. I don't know. But they used it to like kind of, as a platform.
Fire of Love was so good.
It was, but I think that this might have been at least a little bit more like poignant for the times.
The speech was like, very of the times. It's about a war that's going on and
a man that is currently in solitary confinement in a Russian prison. That's pretty harsh.
But, I'm not mad at it, right? Because I didn't watch it, so it's not like I could say it's bad or anything. Fire of Love is so good, and it's such a visually striking movie, and the story is relatable and touching, and it's one of those artistic feeling documentaries more than like a straightforward kind of boring historic telling of someone's story.
Yeah.
Type documentary that Navalny looks like it is, but I haven't seen it. So I'm judging it, which I shouldn't be.
Yeah. But then the best animated feature went to, no surprise, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
People thought it would actually go to Puss in Boots, which is, are you serious? It's the Academy.
Yeah.
It's Guillermo del Toro. He's such a favorite.
I think, like, to be fair, it might be a better, we still haven't seen it, but, like, it might be an actual better film.
No, I'm sure, but that's not how it works.
Yeah,
Again.
exactly. So it's kind of like, would it have been nice? Of course. But...
And also, that's like straight up, that's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Well, if you put Guillermo del Toro's name in the title, adult voters will think, oh, I can see that, but I'm not going to watch Puss in Boots. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Puss in Boots, come on. And then we had the best international feature, which was All Quiet on the Western Front. Really no big surprise.
No surprise there. I would love to see a little donkey EO getting that, but that was never happening.
Oh, we talked about screenplays. Really, like, I mean... I think that both of them deserved it, you know? Or they deserved the nomination, so they deserved a win, so, you know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of huge surprises. Jamie Lee Curtis being one of them is not huge.
Yeah, it's not huge if you think about it. It's just kind of, like, not what I was expecting.
Right. I wasn't expecting The Whale to get 2 wins.
Yeah.
That was surprising, but not huge. Like, again, it was still up there for the win. I just didn't pick it to win.
Mm-hmm. I really liked Ke Huy Quan's acceptance speech.
He was very excited the whole time.
Yes.
Because then the Best Picture was hosted by Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And he was very excited in the crowd. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Because, you know, nice. They work together. And
yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like it's a nice story. It's a nice, like, thing to aspire to be, you know, if you are in film. And...
I guess just let's talk about Best Picture because... Everything Everywhere All at Once won, obviously, but let's talk about who didn't win and who's relieved it didn't win. Because we're on the radio, we're driving on the car, listening to the radio, and the host said she hoped that Avatar would win tonight.
Yeah.
And we kind of looked at each other like, damn, they watched one movie this year.
Yeah. I mean...
Bad look if it won, I think.
Kind of. I don't know. It was never going to win. I didn't think Top Gun was ever going to win.
Well,
I know what you said.
Discussion,
the
right?
discussion, yeah. But, like, I just didn't think realistically.
I think it's a better look, though. But I was fine with Top Gun until today, and then they talked about it so much that I'm just so done with that movie, and I never want to hear about it again. And I probably won't.
That they show, like, little clips of the movies whenever they're, you know, doing the nomination announcements. And
for
editing, they decided to use the
beach
football scene, which had, you know, very basic, like, cut to
they just kept cutting between characters. And it's like that's the one that you thought was really good that you're gonna pick, and then you had the Everything Everywhere All at Once where you show like 30, 40, 50 cuts in the space of a second to show that she's going through this emotional struggle of missing the lives that she could have had.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's clearly better. Like, that's editing that's actually telling you a story.
Yeah. It was just kind of funny. We just kind of, like, laughed at it a little bit because it was a little bit, like, you know.
I just think it's funny that they picked the homoerotic clip of the movie.
Right.
Which is not even as homoerotic as the first Top Gun, but it was still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't win because I don't want to hear about that movie anymore. That's basically why I'm glad that didn't win.
Yeah. I'm glad Elvis didn't win because I really thought it was a really crappy movie, and I'm sorry to those that think it's good.
Triangle of Sadness and Women Talking kind of felt like an afterthought the whole time.
Really, it did, and I felt kind of bad because I think the director...
I like both of the movies too, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think the director kind of looked a little bit like, why am I even here?
Right.
Like...
I like both of the movies, but like... They just shouldn't be nominated because they feel like an afterthought.
Yeah, they do.
They feel like they barely got in and people were barely talking about it.
I guess, to be fair, like, you know, getting the Oscar nom is more of like a nod to, you know, this was a good, important film or this was, you know, whatever.
I mean, they're both good. They're much better than Elvis or Avatar, right?
Yeah.
That's not even a debate, but people were talking about Avatar. And just, I don't know, it's kind of sad when a lot of people working on the movie were sitting there just basically waiting for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Because they know they're not going to win.
Yeah. I thought that, you know, they all had some, I guess, hope for winning. Like, I don't know. I don't think they were necessarily locks, but it did really seem like Everything Everywhere All at Once just kind of swept everything.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of made it even more boring by the end. I knew it was going to win, and we all did.
Yeah.
And it just kind of drained my energy. Not that I had a lot coming into it. We did travel all day coming into the Oscars. We traveled so we could be home at time for the Oscars. And then by the end, I had no energy, but also knowing who was going to win anyways. I had no excitement. I wasn't celebrating. This was your favorite movie of the year by far. Yeah. And you didn't seem to care much that it won because you knew it was going to win.
Yeah, I knew it was going to win. And it was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't have been super upset if it hadn't won. That was my thing. Like, do I think it deserved it? And do I think this was my favorite movie of the year? Absolutely. But it was kind of like, I think Tar was really good and probably deserves a nod. I thought that Banshees of Inisherin was really good. Triangle of Sadness, I wouldn't have been awful, you know? There was stuff that I could have rationalized, you know? Whereas, like, when Parasite won, like, that was... I really wanted Parasite to win.
Yeah, because that came down to the last second where you're, like, sweating it, right? And that was such an important win, too. That was a now or never for foreign films. And the result of that one is shown. But, like, All Quiet is winning so much. We had 2 different Indian movies winning awards tonight.
Yeah.
Great. It's a great thing. And they're celebrating more foreign movies because of that. And I hope, because Everything Everywhere won, we're not going to be celebrating quirky equals funny or random equals funny. Yeah. Because that's not why that movie was good. So
no, it's
don't go out and make those type of movies thinking that's what makes them good.
Yeah, because I feel like the thing that makes Everything Everywhere All at Once so good is just the human connection between all of it. Where, like, I don't know, I've said before that movie makes me cry on multiple different levels. It makes me cry because of how much that Waymond loves his wife, you know, and how much Evelyn loves her daughter, even when she drives her crazy. Like, when she treats her like crap, you know? It's kind of just very human, I guess.
And as much as I like it, again, if clones are going to start coming out, I'm going to lose it. Yeah. I will not have the patience for it.
Yeah.
This was almost on a rewatch. I almost didn't have too much patience for it. Because, again, it's a lot, right? That's the point of it. It throws everything at you all at once. But
I still really liked it the second
time. But I hope this doesn't create more movies like it.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say that's fair. And, you know, there might be, because we already have, like the multiverse type stuff. It's here, you know? Where, like, that's kind of the plot of a lot of different things. It's just, you know.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah, Puss in Boots.
Doctor
Strange.
All the Marvel stuff in general. Yeah, there's a lot, right? But it's different because they're doing it for their own purpose, and I just hope they're not going to start doing it now because it's popular and it's successful. Yeah. More because it's successful, which gives an outing for movies. But, like, I could do this just because people are going to be gripped by the Everything Everywhere model. Yeah. And not the actual story or whatever. That's why I don't think it should have won screenplay. And because there was 2 better screenplays at least in that category.
I can see that.
I'm definitely happy it won. Like... It's as a story, it's the best one, right? It's the one that would make the most people happy, and even me. I love Tar. I love Banshees. If they won, it would have been kind of a bummer because it's like, yeah, the best movie won, but we don't have the family celebrating on stage. Yeah. Even though I kind of get the sense that the Banshees kind of became a family. They were all very close together. Yeah. In the crowd, and they were celebrating each other, so maybe they just didn't like really push that narrative out. But good day for cinema, good day for Reddit. Let's go, Brendan Fraser. Bad day for TV watchers. Yeah, it's boring, and I don't know if I'm gonna watch it next year. I don't know if this type of episode's gonna come out next year.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely see if you guys are really into these, you know.
Yeah, if we get a lot of clicks and plays and whatever, then maybe we'll do it again.
It's just one of those things where tonight really felt like a chore.
I'm content with reading the winners on the Wikipedia page. It takes literally 2 seconds for them to update.
Yeah, literally.
They're most of the time they're updated before the actor or the
even like walks onto the stage.
Yeah, they're still getting up, and the whatever Wikipedia is still. Which God bless them, right?
Yeah, who's ever like on top of it? Good job.
Yeah, good job. Like I'm not like shitting on you for sitting there ready to click. That's like a good thing.
Yeah.
Like that's better than any news sites could do.
Yeah, for real.
So,
but I feel like we've exhausted our thoughts and opinions. They're just kind of quick. I'm sure we probably will have more as we think about them, but that's all for today's episode. We will be back next week with something not Oscar related, so stay tuned for that, and we will see you next time.